We're going to begin talking about working with worksheets. We're going to look at adding worksheets. There's a couple different ways you can do that. We're going to navigate the worksheets, and there's a couple different ways you can do that. We're going to select worksheets that are adjacent to each other and that are not adjacent to each other. And then we're going to delete some worksheets. So this is the default view of Excel. We have Book 1 and Sheet 1. One worksheet is what you'll get when you open up a workbook by default. You can change that, which is what we did in the prior movie, but you'll have the occasion to want to add worksheets. There's a few different ways you can do it. There's 3 different ways you can do it. This plus button right here will add worksheets, and it will add them at the end of the list of worksheets that you currently have. Right now, 7 is the active worksheet. If I make 5 the active worksheet, there's another way I can insert a worksheet, and it'll be inserted right before the active worksheet, and that is to press Shift F11. It inserted 8. 8 is now the active worksheet, the new worksheet we just inserted. Shift F11. Inserts 9 before Sheet 8, and 9 is the active worksheet. We can also right-click and get a shortcut menu, left-click Insert, and we have a number of different options of what we can insert, but we're going to insert the default, which is a worksheet. Left-clicking OK, and we get Sheet 10 inserted before Sheet 9, and Sheet 10 is the active worksheet. So I'm going to add a few more worksheets by just clicking the Add Worksheet button, because I want to get a few of them on there, and that's probably plenty. The second thing we want to talk about is navigating the worksheet. There's some navigation buttons over on the left-hand side. When I left-click the left navigation button, we move one worksheet over to the left. Now, the active worksheet has not changed. In order to change the active worksheet, you need to select a worksheet. So Sheet 10 is the active worksheet, but I can continue moving over, and you can see Sheet 10 is still the active worksheet. Another way to navigate is to right-click and get a list of the sheets. Sheet 10 is the active sheet. That's the one that's selected by default. We have a scroll bar, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to add a whole bunch of sheets, to show you that you can scroll down and look at all the sheets that are on the toolbar. And these sheets are listed in the same geographical location as they are in the workbook. They won't be resorted alphabetically, for instance. And in order to make another sheet the active sheet, we just need to select one and left-click OK, and now Sheet 1 is the active sheet. We can also navigate from worksheet to worksheet by pressing and holding down the Control key, and then press Page Down to go to the right. And while I'm holding down the Control key, Page Up to go to the left. So selecting worksheets. We have one worksheet selected now, Sheet 1. It's the active sheet. But we can group worksheets in 2 different ways. And there's a number of reasons why you would want to do this, or you might want to do this, which we'll talk about in other movies. But first we're going to cover the basics, and that is selecting more than one worksheet. In order to select worksheets that are not next to each other, that are non-adjacent worksheets, press and hold the Control key, and then left-click on the ones you want to select. I can sort of cherry pick whichever ones I want to. So the Control key allows you to pick non-adjacent worksheets. In order to ungroup this group that we just created, click a worksheet that's not in the group, and you'll ungroup that group. If you want to select worksheets that are adjacent to one another, press and hold the Shift key down after you make your selection, which we have Sheet F12 selected. That's the endpoint of the range of worksheets that you want to group. Click the other end of the range of the worksheets that you want to group. So we've selected Sheet 3 to Sheet 12. And once again, to ungroup these sheets, left-click a worksheet that's not in the group. If you have all of the worksheets selected, and I'm going to select Sheet 1, hold the Shift key down, create some more room for myself here, go all the way over to the end and select all of the worksheets. So I don't have any worksheet that's not in the group because I have grouped all of the worksheets. In order to ungroup them, you can right-click to get the shortcut menu and then left-click Ungroup Sheets. So we have more sheets than what we need, and we want to delete some sheets. We can delete the sheets by first selecting them, and I'm going to select a range of adjacent worksheets, right-click to get the shortcut menu, and then left-click Delete. I can also delete sheets that are not adjacent to one another by selecting them by using the Control key that we just learned about, and then left-clicking Delete. So that's working with worksheets. We added worksheets to our workbook. We navigated within the worksheets. We selected worksheets that were adjacent and non-adjacent, and then we deleted worksheets.